cutback for Vasilev, and Lukic! A banger of a strike for Jovan Lukic's first MLS goal!
It's fallen out to Westfield! Oh, wow! He's nearly taken the roof of the net off! Philadelphia pounce again!
Who gets his goal in his Union debut? The record signing, off and running in his first appearance for the club.
Hello and welcome to the Free Kick Podcast. My name is Todd, and what a cold, brisk day in Maryland, and I would assume in Pennsylvania. But you know what? Tomorrow's game day, last preseason game of the season for the Philadelphia Union, and then we're off, baby, to the start of the 2026 season with a trip down to Trinidad and Tobago against the Defense Force, and then the home opener. Or the MLS home opener, I should say, February 21st against DC United. And it's starting to become real, Jose, that the offseason is starting to come to an end. And I know there's still some deals to be announced, but it feels like it's finally here, Jose. Like that long trip in Spain finally done. Florida is about to be done, which, by the way, sure that the players are probably a little bit upset that it wasn't a little bit warmer down in Florida, thinking that you'd get a little bit warmer weather down in Florida this time of season. Did not happen, but anything's better than what it is up north in Philadelphia, that's for sure. But yeah, the season almost here, Jose. Cannot wait. But first and foremost, how you doing?
I'm okay, man. I'm wearing one jacket, a sweatshirt, a long sleeve shirt because I'm in my basement. And although it's new construction, new-ish construction, it's freaking cold, man. It's not a fun time. And to your point of the Florida thing, man, I do wonder. If they are, I should say, sort of like hating that it's not like 65, 70 degrees down there. Obviously, a little different than what they're used to when they go down there. But yeah, it feels like I'm of two minds, right? It feels like this preseason has gone both entirely too quickly, but also feels like it's never stopped, right? In terms of the news cycle, things that we can talk about, all of the above. So I'm just excited, to watch competitive ball. It was a nice treat to watch San Diego last week, I guess, right? Against Mexican side, escaping me already. Wasn't Pumas. Was it Pumas? Wasn't Pumas. Forget who they were. Whatever. Saying David Vasquez. Yeah,
it was against Pumas.
Was it Pumas? Okay, I got them confused the other day. And then watching Tigres in Canada when it was like negative something. It was unbelievable the range and weather between those two games. But yeah, excited to get the season started. Though again, it feels like it never ended.
Yeah, absolutely. And I gotta pull this comment up by Wolfie 776 real quick. Michael, what's up? He said that muted intro. Did the intro not play at all? Because I know I had myself muted when I tried to do the hello and welcome, and so it was like a good 5-second delay because when I played the intro, I had muted myself. I was like, oh, it's gonna automatically unmute. Did not happen. So I'm curious, was the whole intro muted or just my hello and welcome? Let me know. Oh, it was me. Okay, good. As long as the whole intro wasn't muted, I don't care about me. But you had talked about all the layers that you're wearing, Jose, and I saw before we started the show, you were asking people last night what their favorite commercial was for the Super Bowl. I do have a question for you. I'm so glad you brought up how many layers you're wearing and how cold it is in the basement. And I thought about this today at work. Would you rather be working outside in the cold or the heat? And this is a question for everybody in the comment section too, because I was thinking about this all day at work. And spoiler alert, the heat was not working at work, and so that's why I was thinking about this. Like, would I rather it be super hot out working outside or have no heat? So good, Jose. Have an answer?
I would definitely say heat. I would rather be outside in the heat than being in the cold. This stuff is painful. This is very, very painful stuff, right? We're like in the heat, if you find a shaded place, you can cool off for a little bit. In the cold, like you have to find somewhere to get inside, right? Heat all day for sure. So I don't know that there's a right answer, but that would be my answer.
Shaggy says Heat all day as well. Agrees with
Yeah,
you.
there he is.
Get more comments in here. I know there's a lot of people commenting. Let's get those answers in. But yeah, I was thinking about it, and I think I'd rather work in the cold. Honestly, like yes, the cold war is brutal, but at least in the cold you can like continue to layer up. And yeah, I had gloves on that I thought were pretty thick, and my hands were still getting cold. And I'm like, okay, maybe if I had thicker gloves, then I would be warmer. In the summertime, what are you supposed to do? Like you can only wear so many little layers, and that's only going to go so far. But I find myself every season, right, when it's 95 plus, super humid, I'm like, oh man, I'd rather work into the cold than then when it's in the wintertime, it's like, okay, yeah, I'd rather work in the heat. This is miserable, but I don't know. I really do think that you can put on so many layers, but what are you supposed to do in the summertime? Have one of those fans just blowing in your face and hoping to give you a nice cool breeze? I don't know. I think it's cold for me here. I think I would rather work in the cold. Mike Barrera says I've worked in the heat, sitting in a turned off vehicle for 8 to 10 hours straight and not being able to leave. Heat all day, drink water, and wear appropriate clothes. F the cold. I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with me here, Jose. Wolfie says that's a tough cold, but this cold is just unbearable. It hurts being outside. That is true. And Jose has this hood on. Jess says in line with my. Oops, he does not answer that. Let's see. John says the heat, so you can drink an ice cold drink and feel good. Most hot drinks are disgusting. You can always work shirtless when in construction. That is a good point. Very good point. There isn't a lot of hot drinks that I like. You're a coffee fan, right, Jose? Now you're muted.
Yes, I am. I'm a coffee fan, not a fancy coffee fan, just black coffee. I'm set. I don't need the gajillion gallons of creamer that people put, but yeah, I'm a coffee fan.
Jazz says I'm a polar bear forced to live 9 months a year in a sauna. That is true, right? Down in Florida, I believe. I think I saw your comment say, Jazz. Pat says I'll take the heat and a few cold ones. So yeah, I don't think too many people are gonna agree with me that they'd rather work in the cold. So everybody's saying in the heat. So
that means you're stupid.
I guess so, apparently. So I'll go ahead and just leave the show, and you can do it the rest of the way because nobody's going to agree with my take. So it's been a great night with you guys, 7 minutes into the show. So, Jose, have a great show, a great night with the fine folks in the comment section. But now let's go ahead and talk serious business, and that is Philadelphia Union. The first of 2 games down in Clearwater, Florida. They defeat Tampa Bay Rowdies 2-0 with goals from Alejandro Bedoya and Danley Jacques. And I guess before we talk about goals and everything like that, and I know you and I are probably going to talk about Andrew Rick most of this segment. Let's talk about that lineup, Jose. And I feel like we always talk about Andrew Rick, and rightly so, because dude's a stud goalkeeper and needs to be playing consistently. But going ahead and looking at the Union starting lineup, you had Andrew Rick in goal, Kevin Sullivan, Jesus Bueno, Jeremy Raffanello, Olivier Beiser, Ben Bender, CJ Oni, Oluwethu Makanya, Stas Korzanowski, Rafael Uskateki, and Sal Olivas. So, yes, very Union 2 heavy. A lot of players on that list featured with Union 2 last season. And I don't know what I was expecting for the starting lineup against Tampa Bay, but it definitely wasn't this, Jose.
One thing that just came to mind, I just realized this. They are using already the Concacaf Champions Cup balls, by the way. So they're already sort of practicing and working around those rather than, worrying about using Adidas or Nike. Just looking at this image, I saw, oh man, that is the Concacaf logo right there in the middle of it all. Yeah, this lineup was very Union 2, and that's okay. Though, not to fast forward too much, but I hope that Montreal is maybe a better look at what comes out. For Defense Force, right? Maybe a more Union senior team starting 11, meaning, listen, sure, Rafa, Uskategi, Sal Olivas, Olney, Bender, though Bender, I think by necessity needs to play. Have a seat, right? It's time for the starters to get there and get their minutes. But listen, against Tampa Bay, a USL team, not so bad. I suppose they're not in an appropriate place for Bradley Cornell and company to experiment. But really excited to see some of these guys maybe get a better footing, right? Like, sure, we can talk about Andrew Rick for the rest of the podcast if you really wanted to, but man, I remain so impressed with Olwethe Makanya, how calm he was on the ball during this friendly. Just over when Danley came in, just again doing his thing. Once again, we talk about Jovan Lukic going out and doing his thing once he subbed in. So the level difference was there. But I guess it's also worth saying, I guess referees also can be in preseason mode, because that was not a well ref game. Sorry, Tori Penso. I don't believe that was a well ref game. And I don't know how Salalivas gets pushed from the back, lands on the ball, and then gets called for a handball. Like, I don't understand that, but alas, I hope that Montreal is maybe a different look. And in the chat, if you can confirm, we all heard, and the guy apologized to me, I guess I should say, via direct DM. He reached out to me. We all heard the announcer snorting quite a bit, right? Like sniffles and just coughing nonstop. As I understand, he's feeling better and ready for tomorrow. So we'll see what that looks like. Now you're muted, my friend.
What is going on here? Yeah, we'll definitely have another stream tomorrow. I'll pull up a QR code here in a second while I get the retweeting out of the stream. But I think that, yeah, you bring up a good point. But I think one point that I want to bring up there, Jose, is the Ben Bender experiment at left back. No offense to the dude, but in my opinion, he's clearly not a left back. And maybe it works against the Tampa Bay. Maybe it works against certain opponents. But let's say the Union still don't have a left back and they get past defense force, and now they have to play a Club America in the next round. Ben Bender is absolutely going to get cooked at left back if he's playing left back against Club America. I think Ben Bender would probably get cooked by half the teams in MLS if he has to play left back. And the one thing that I don't like either, right, is I would imagine that the Union would probably send help either from Jovan Lukic or Danley Jacques, maybe to help Ben Bender out a little bit defensively, which I don't really like that idea, right? Because so many times last year we saw Danley getting in these advanced roles, going more forward than Jovan Lukic. But at the same time too, like we saw through different parts of the season, Jovan would go up and then Danley would drop. Danley would go up, Jovan would drop. But then towards the end of the season, it was really, a lot of Danley Jacques going forward, just like we saw for his goal on the night, scoring that header assisted by Frankie Westfield. But it does make me maybe a little bit nervous that the Union still don't have a true natural left back on this roster. Yeah, I know you had Jordan Griffin come in, who features with Union 2. I don't think he's close to being ready for the first team. Yes, there's still time for the Union to go out there and sign players. And I believe, Jose, you had said, what was it, 4 days before the Orlando City game, the Union announced Bruno Damiani? So
I believe so.
We still have plenty of time to go out there and make a signing. But yeah, I got to be honest, not feeling optimistic putting a Ben Bender out there or a Nathan Harry or Frankie Westfield. And I know Frankie and Nate can do the job, but I would much rather have a natural left back. And let's, I guess, quickly give another shout out to Kai Wagner. 123 touches, insane for a left back over the weekend. As once again, another win for Birmingham City. Kai Wagner wrote it man of the match on FootMob. Has not had a loss yet, I believe, Jose, with Birmingham City, and they continue to climb that table. And I'm seeing a lot of fans change the mind on Kai Wagner, saying, "Oh, signing of the window. This guy's amazing. He's one of our best players." Well, the people that cover the team or the people that are fans and watch every single game, they told you. But yeah, what do people know? They're Americans, or in your case, Bolivians, and you guys don't know ball. I guess we do, right? I guess we do. And Kai Wagner is definitely loving life out there in England and getting to prove all the people that doubted him, doubted MLS for all.
No, listen, maybe the Kai Wagner thing. Yeah, man, what a performance! I remember texting you. I'm not sure. Did you watch it live or did you just like respond? Like you didn't watch it live,
Uh,
did you?
no, I was watching Manchester United,
Okay.
and then I don't know what I was doing after Man United.
Yeah, I ended up watching that game, and the whole time, like, holy shit, like this guy just keeps touching the ball. Like this has to, and you know this from me, Todd, from sitting next to each other at the press box. Like I don't ever look at Fop Mob until the game's over, and after
Yeah.
I've taken my own notes. And I texted you and our little group chat and said, incredible, or what did I say? Great game by Kai Wagner, probably worth watching. And next thing you know, you texted, you're like, oh, he was man of the match. And I didn't even look at how many touches. So when you said it, I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like he was all over the place. Someone had said that he should have had a hockey assist. Let's not transfer that over to England or any other league, please. We don't have to do the MLS
Please.
hockey assist. But yeah, no, that was awesome to watch. Listen, I saw the chat. Someone said, please end the Ben Bender left back experiment this preseason. I agree. I don't know what the answer is. Obviously, it goes without saying, but we should say it anyways. They're looking. They're always looking for positions. It's never ending, of course. Hopefully there's something soon, but this team's not shy about waiting till, I don't want to say last minute, but again, the Bruno Damiani, that didn't happen until 4 days before the first match of the season against Orlando last year. So, who knows? As I understand it, I thought that was done. That's not happening.
It's not happening.
Yeah, as I recall, I don't think that's happening. I remember asking and someone telling me no, it's not happening. But I think was it Jonathan Tanwell who also reported that it wasn't happening? I can't remember.
And Walt said
Okay.
it wasn't happening either. For
Yeah,
people
so-
who are just listening on audio, it's Zachariah Aris, the left back, I believe, plays in France.
Yeah. Second division of France, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm sure that there's work to be done. Certainly, I think we both agree, and others would agree that the Union need to find an answer to patch this gigantic hole. And again, the shoes will never be filled. Kai Wagner feels like a one of a kind that Philadelphia ever had. I think one of the easiest Hall of Ring of Honor players. But whoever comes in next obviously gets a shot. Can it be Nate? Can it be Francis Frankie Westfield sliding over and doing what he did with Union 2? I think so, but I'm not sure that you want to try something that you got away with in Union 2 with MLS first teams. Never mind. God, Club America. I can't imagine that either. So who knows? Maybe there's news tomorrow, the day after. So there's a lot that the Union are holding back on right now.
Yeah, I mean, reading comments, people definitely don't want to see Ben Bender anymore at left back. And look, I didn't mind the Ben Bender signing or re-signing, I should say. I think he's a good squad player. Start every now and then when you have multiple games during the week. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But if you expect Ben Bender to be a week in, week out starter, I think we got serious issues if that is the case. Ben Bender starting week in, week out. But I don't know. Maybe he impresses so much, and maybe you can flip it and say it's an even better thing. But I think this stage and where you look at the Union's roster, I think that you'd have major issues if Ben Bender's weekend starter as one of your number 10s. But like you said, Jose, still time for things to be announced, and I think maybe this leads into our next topic, what we want to see in tomorrow's game against Montreal. But before we talk about that, can we talk about Injury Rick real quick? I know we said we can talk about Injury Rick the whole episode. But my God, dude, does this guy ever not save a penalty? 47th minute, Tampa Bay gets a penalty kick. Guesses the same exact way. And, I would love to ask Phil Wedding this. Do you have data on penalty kick kick takers in preseason? Because if you guys watch the games, Phil Wedding's constantly pointing the direction, looking down at his sheet, then he looks at the goalkeeper and tells them, hey, this is the way that they normally take it. And then it's up to the goalkeepers to go and make the save. And knowing Phil, I would imagine that he probably does have all the data on every single player that's going to be the penalty kick taker. So he's probably looking down, seeing, okay, these are all the players that have taken penalties for Tampa Bay. Let me look and see who's taking the penalty. All right, let me look at my sheet. And then he probably points to either Andrew Rick, Andre Blake, and now it's up to you to go make the save. But my goodness, penalty given away by Geiner Martínez, who makes his debut with the first team, officially announced. And Jose and I will have more on Martínez and Anello, who any minute now, any day now, should be announced. And we'll go ahead and bring on Solana, who knows all things soccer down in Uruguay. And so we had him on last year for Bruno Damiani. And once things become official with Anello, then we'll bring Solana on and we'll talk both players. So we won't spend too much time talking about Martínez or Anello tonight. But yeah, Martínez gives up a penalty kick. Thought it was a little bit of an iffy call. I saw the Union's recap said that it was a handball called on Martínez. I thought it was a call because Martínez didn't get the ball. Regardless, it's a penalty given up by Martínez. Did not matter because Andrew Rick makes a save, and I feel like he had 5 or 6 saves in this game against Tampa Bay. Just was in terrific form from the first minute one.
Yeah, I didn't even read the Union recap, so my apologies, Sage Hurley. I didn't get a chance to to read. I've been so busy with work and whatnot, life. Period. Interesting handball. I can't even recall the sequence all that clearly, but I could have sworn it was more of Martínez just swinging, missing, and getting a leg inside the box. But alas, it doesn't matter. Listen, I've been tooting this horn for a while, been sharing clips of the kid left and right, guy, I guess at this point, older kid now. This guy needs to play regular minutes. He can't no longer. I don't think he can no longer be second fiddle to Andre Blake. And sure, Andre Blake's still an incredible keeper. And this is, again, I go back to the moment it hit me when we were at New York City at Met Stadium, and I looked at you and I said, dude, the entire keeping core for New York City FC is former Union players. Like, what the hell is this all about? And of course, it's the Andre Blake effect, right? Someone who's been so good for so long, unfortunately injured a lot too, making it very difficult for people to break through and ultimately being the player that ends up winning and making himself better and making others better, forcing them to go on and play somewhere else. So I think with Andrew, he's maybe coming up to that situation, and who knows, right? It could be that my guess is Andre goes on an incredible tear here in the beginning of the season, getting ready for the Jamaican World Cup playoff, and has this incredible run of games, performances, and ultimately maybe makes his way. Hopefully I'm wrong. No offense to Andre, but I would rather see Bolivia go to the World Cup than Jamaica. Or maybe it's, I don't know if there's an opportunity that it can be Jamaica and Bolivia at the same time. But nonetheless, I think Andrew he just needs to play, man. I mean, that one save up, was it a volley in the first half? He just, sure, it was maybe closer to him, but the reflexes to go ahead and parry it away from the middle of the box was incredible. And just, there were a couple of times where I saw his distribution wasn't perfect, but there was a couple of like, okay, this is actually a really good ball that seems like the guy's back in the middle of the season sort of form and pinging the ball around the field. And I think the one that I'm referring to that was actually really, really good was off of a drop kick. So it's just like, okay, like this kid is adding more and more to his arsenal. So, and listen, from talking to people around the league and people outside of the league that function within MLS Next Pro and function within USL, they all agree this guy should be playing regular minutes. And if he wants to excel, if he wants to have a role somewhere else, that needs to happen soon. And who knows? And I'm not here to, move the guy away, but if he's not playing regular minutes by halfway through the season to the second window, why wouldn't he want to ask for a loan, right? Why wouldn't he want to ask for some sort of movement? And if he's still, not playing and they go into next year and somehow Andre plays, I don't know what I think Andre is through this year and then an option for next year.
Yeah. I just looked it up and Mike Thomas asked, he said,
what's up, Mike?
He said, what's Rick's contract? How much longer? And I'm looking at it right here. He signed through 2028 with an option for 2029. And then you have Andre Blake 2026 contracts guaranteed and then an option for 2027. And let's be honest, Jose, right? And we haven't got any of those questions yet on the podcast. I'm happy. Haven't seen them on social media in a little bit. What's up with Ernst Tanner? But let's say Ernst Tenner isn't back and you bring a new regime in here, who's to say that they don't pick up that option for 2027 and they continue to clean house and flip the page like we've seen the Union already do this offseason, which needed to be done, by the way. Let's not forget that this fan base, a lot of people online on social media were pretty vocal, wanting them to move off of a Jacob Glesnes, clean house, and start fresh. And that's exactly what they did this season after winning the Supporters Shield. But let's say Ernst Tenner isn't back. You get a new regime in here. They have no loyalty to pick up that option for 2027, assuming it's not performance-based and it's not automatically picked up like Mikel Uors was last season. But yeah, I just want to throw that out there. There is no guarantee if there is a new GM in here that they're going to want to pick up that option in 2027.
And that's certainly true. And I see the comments from Mike, and thank you for chiming in. Listen, I totally get it. The guy is 20, but the reality is that I had to look it up. Adam Beardry, who is part of the Rapids org, was on loan to the Colorado Rapids, played 3 or 4 games. And I don't know if it's a preference within U.S. soccer, but Adam went on to go to the U20 World Cup. Andrew Rick did not, despite Andrew Rick getting minutes within an MLS team versus a USL team. So listen, if I'm Andrew, I have full confidence, and this might be a little bold on my end. I have full confidence that Andrew Rick could probably start in at least half of the teams in the league this year. At least half.
And you were saying that last year too, to be fair.
I can totally see how he could start, and certainly a Sporting Kansas City, likely a Colorado too, with all the respect to who's there as is. So like I don't know, man. Like I have a hard time seeing how Andrew sees the way that things are. And again, this is just maybe the guy's ambitious, wants to play. I just don't I just wonder what his desire to play right away versus being okay with waiting another year at the age of 20. And maybe, Mike, to your point, the added amount of competitions will lead to more playing time. Sure, career age, likely too. Who knows? Maybe Andre's leg is, what's the meme, the tendernism meme that you see on Instagram of like the meat falling off the bone. Who knows what that leg's feeling like? Again, I'm not asking for the guy to get injured. I think it's a very honest conversation to say that it's likely that he'll be injured considering the history of his. But I think just, I don't know that Andrew can have, one game every 3 and feel good with it, right? When the reality is he's good enough to be an everyday starter, certainly within USL. I think he's certainly good enough to play within MLS, and shit, he would probably be a great starter even for like a Lingby, should they really want to continue to exhaust that partnership. So, neither here nor there. I think regional minds can differ. My patent line that I stole from some other podcast, I guess. So I hope that there's an answer, and I hope that Andrew sticks around, but I can also see where he might be sort of like ready to go, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Mike says the counterpoint remains Matt Freese, and I get that. Matt stayed on the bench for years and years and years, but it was starting to get to a point where the Union said, all right, let's do what's best for Matt Freese and send him to a team where he has an option or a chance to win the number 1 goalkeeping spot. But here's the thing, where you look at Andrew Rick is when Matt Freese was at the club, the one thing that Andrew Rick has over him and both Andre Blake, let's not forget Andre Blake, especially at this point of his career, is the distribution with his feet and how big of a weapon that is. And in the Union, they want to play fast. What is it? Bradley Cornell says winning the ball back and then within 10 seconds want to have a shot. Well, don't the Union want to get up into the attacking zone of the field as quick as possible? And that distribution, the vision from Andrew Rick to ping a ball playing out of the back is so much higher than what Matt Freese's was when he was here. And Matt talked about it when he got traded to New York City. The one thing that he really had to lock in on is getting comfortable with the ball at his feet. The Union weren't training that when Matt was here. They weren't training it during Andre Blake. But it so happened that you have a goalkeeper in Andrew Rick came up as a defensive midfielder, comfortable with the ball at his feet. I think that's just such a big advantage, and especially if you have teams that want to go ahead and play a high line. And so, yeah, having a goalkeeper be back there and kind of be like a playmaker and playing those long balls that you normally see center backs play, I don't think that's a disadvantage at all. I think that's a weapon that the Union probably need to try to utilize, and they did certainly try to utilize it last year when Andrew Rick played. And so, yeah, I would say that Andrew Rick's shot stopping has to get better. I think he would agree with that too, that his shot stopping is not where it should be. If you compare Andre Blake and Andrew Rick in terms of shot stopping, yeah, Andre Blake for sure has the edge over Andrew Rick. But I think that day for Andrew Rick being the starting goalkeeper, the starting number one, I think it's closer to being a reality than not. And Bradley Cornell strikes me as a coach, Jose, where maybe minus Indiana Vassilev, that there is no loyalty to players. You got to earn your spot in training. And let's say that Andrew Rick's playing because Andre Blake's hurt or he's away on international duty, and Andrew Rick's had 3 solid games. I don't know if I see Bradley Cornell saying, all right, Andre Blake's back. Let's take away the starting job that Andrew Rick's been doing and give it back to Andre Blake. I think this is a team, and I think the players know it. You've got to earn your spot week in, week out. And if Andrew Rick's looking the better goalkeeper in training, the better goalkeeper in games, I don't know. I could see the world where Bradley Cornell says Andrew Rick's our goalkeeper. Would he go on record and say that? I don't think. He was asked about it last year to go ahead and go on record, I believe, about where Andrew Rick stands in terms of being the backup goalkeeper and whatnot, and wouldn't really comment on that. But I don't think that the loyalty is there to, oh, yeah, I know what you've done for the city of Philadelphia. I know what you've done for your national team, Andre. But Andrew Rick gives us the best chance of winning. Andrew Rick's in the best form. I'm going to continue to go with Rick. That's my personal opinion. That's how I kind of believe that Bradley Cornell would approach that. And maybe I'm completely wrong that Bradley Cornell would continue to go with Andre Blake regardless. But yeah, I think Andrew Rick's a lot closer to being the starting goalkeeper than not.
Yeah, and again, listen, I appreciate the healthy discourse in the chat and the points being brought up. I think we can all agree that the Union are in a fortunate situation to have 2 incredible goalkeepers. One that, much like Sebastian Letou, I think Bedoya eventually, when the time comes, Kai Wagner, when the time comes too, will make their way into the Ring of Honor, right? That's just how good Andre Blake has been. But to also have another goalkeeper with MLS starting caliber within the system, within the organization that maybe is the perfect next step in the evolution of the club, meaning, post Andre Blake, post Bedoya, you'd be foolish not to sort of give him more opportunities. If not, give him an opportunity to, yeah, okay, that's fine. Andrew, if you want to get more playing time this year, go on loan, come back 6 months, go and play. That's perfectly fine. We owe that to you. And then 2027 year is where it's from there on out. It's under Andrew Rick time. So I don't know. I think it's all fascinating. I think it's all good, and I'm excited to watch how it develops.
And the one thing I would actually be curious about too is, again, I think MLS has a big mess on the hands in terms of how contracts are going to work for that shortened season. Is this option for 2027? Is that going to include the 2027-2028 season, or is that just going to be the shortened season? I could see a world where, okay, the Union do pick up the loan or the option for Andre Blake, but it's only for that shortened season, and Andre's here for a couple months, and now you start that 2027-2028 season, and now Andre Blake's a free agent. But again, that's for MLS to figure out how those options are going to work past this season. And hopefully we get more information on that going forward. But Mike asked one more question, and then we'll go ahead and change topics, Jose. He said, who gets the armband in a post-Blake world? Just for a fun talking point. We saw Jesus Bueno wear it. I think Nathan Harriel definitely has a shot at being the captain. I think even Quinn Sullivan, you and I think both agree, Jose, if he doesn't tear his ACL last season, he's probably sold in the wintertime. now with that ACL tear, who knows how much longer Quinn will stay in MLS, but I could see a Nathan Harriel or Quinn Sullivan or even a Siri Larson being the captain. Let's not forget when the Union brought in Jacob Glesnes, he was 25 years old, Siri Larson, 25 years old, and both had captain experience at the previous clubs. So those would probably be my three players, and I think maybe a little bit of a sneaky undershot, Frankie Westfield, depending on how long he's here for.
Yeah, I sorry, I was responding. Someone very interesting is watching and just texted me. So can you repeat that again? I'm so sorry.
So Mike asked who gets the captain's armband in the post Blake world. I had said Harrio, I could see a Quinn Sullivan, I could see.
Yes.
I could see a Jeff Siri Larson or even a Frankie Westfield, depending on how long he stays.
Yeah, depending how long he stays, and I don't know. I maybe going back to the connection between these two, but an Indy Vasilev isn't a bad shout either, right? In terms of the connection with Bradley Carnell and how much they trust one another, right? So I think those are viable options. And I do agree with your point, Todd. I was indeed listening before that message. I was not expecting that injury for Quinn Sullivan may have changed his entire career trajectory. Unfortunately, just the timing of it. But who knows? Maybe I hope I'm completely wrong. I think that injury maybe keeps him in MLS. But
Shaggy says Jovan.
Jovan would be a vibe as a captain. Can you imagine? To all the referees, for the listeners, I did Jovan. I'm sorry if you're watching. I did the snake thing.
It's only dumb if Jose does it, not if Jovan does it.
Correct. It's only dumb if I do it.
Jazz says might be Indy coach's extension. Maybe. Might be. Indy is 100% the Bradley guy. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, I agree, Mike. This is a very young team, and I don't know how true this is. I have to go and do the math myself, but I saw maybe on Reddit, Twitter, I don't know where I saw it, but they had said that the Union are supposed to be the second youngest team in MLS this season, and I would imagine if that's true, again, I haven't done the numbers myself, but if wherever I saw this, if the numbers are correct, if you take away Andre Blake and Alejandro Bedoya, I would imagine the Union probably do become the youngest team in MLS. And yeah, I guess your question, it is a nice little exercise there, Mike, wondering who would be the captain. But Bradley Cornell said it a lot this offseason that there's a lot of players that are speaking up, having loud voices in preseason that maybe weren't so much doing that last season. So I do think there's a lot of leaders on this team that maybe aren't considered natural leaders.
Dude, listen, I somebody who's endured a lot of shit that we haven't mentioned once, but endured maybe, like Jim Curtin jail per se, dude. And all the way through Macanya. I was gonna say all the way through Macanya. Just a really interesting pick. I mean, honestly, he's balling out of his mind, and who knows how long he sticks around with the club, but he strikes me as somebody who maybe is maturing very, very quickly right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, again, I'll still stick with my point. If he gets caught up to the national team and has a big World Cup, he's gone in the summertime. But
I don't even know that he needs to go to the World Cup, my friend.
I agree, but if he does get caught up on the World Cup squad, we know what World Cups does for players, and it absolutely elevates them at the world level. But again, with Hugo Bruce as the manager, I don't know if Macanya is getting called up to the national team. But one more preseason to go, Jose. Against CF Montréal tomorrow, 6 p.m. kickoff. Game will be streamed like we mentioned. And I'll go ahead and put up that QR code now. I promise you guys aren't going to get a virus when you use your phone to get this QR code. Top left corner of your screen. But if you guys click that takes you to the Philadelphia Union's website where you can go ahead and pre-save that website. And then when it's 6 o'clock, just click on the link and go ahead and watch the stream. But what are you looking forward to, Jose? What do you need to see in this last preseason game? Let's pretend you're Bradley Carnell for a game. What do you want to see?
What do I want to see? I want to see what this first team's going to look like against Defense Force, albeit Defense Force is not an MLS team. I just want to see how these guys start to gel into what is the first team, though. Do you remember what the figure was? The number of different starting 11s that Bradley Cornell used. It's hard to say that he had a starting 11, but I just want to see what he deems as the 11. That's what I want to see, and I also want to see Brandon Craig.
I want to say that number's around like 28. Maybe it's a little bit higher.
Insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's insane.
I know he said it, and I think he said it at the end of the season press conference. Maybe he's watching. Maybe he can comment in the comment section. I mean, the chat definitely wants to know who's watching. Jose that keeps texting you. Jose,
Now you don't want
to say. Maybe it is Bradley Cornell though. Maybe Jose's holding out. Maybe it is Coach Cornell. So if it is, everybody say what's up to Coach. But yeah, that is right, Shaggy. The kid drop does drop tomorrow, and you and I were talking before we went live, Jose. I mean, wouldn't that be something if they announce Anello wearing the new jersey? Like, all right, Anello, we're gonna go ahead and get this jersey out, and we're gonna have you be the player that showcases it for the public to see. And we'll talk about the kit launch here in a bit. But
what if they wear them tomorrow?
Ooh, it's a good shout.
Yeah, what if they wear them tomorrow night, right? Like, and all 720p 720p resolution on my tablet, right? Those cameras are not Apple cameras by any stretch of the imagination, but I can see a world where they just let it rip right from the go tomorrow. It lines up perfectly.
Yeah, it does. Now, I think you might be on to something, Jose. Maybe that's what Jose was getting his text on, saying, yeah, they're going to wear the new jerseys in tomorrow's last preseason game. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, if I'm the coach for a day, I want to see the starting lineup that you're going to go with against the French Force. Let's send those guys 60, 65 minutes. And by the way, I thought it was interesting in the broadcast, they said the Union were going to play 120 minutes against Tampa Bay. And then for whatever reason, they got scratched and they played a full 90 instead. But yeah, I want to see what the starting lineup's going to be against the French Force. Let those guys go 60, 65 minutes. There was a comment earlier in the show, I believe it was from Jazz. He said the game against Tampa Bay absolutely changed as soon as Danley, Jacques, and Jovan Lukic came into the game. 100% agree with that. That's just the kind of players those guys are, can change games on their own. But yeah, I want to see what this team's going to look like. I would imagine you go with Siri Larson, who did not feature against Tampa Bay. Bruno Damiani didn't feature against Tampa Bay. Indiana Vasiliev didn't feature against Tampa Bay. We saw Milan Oloski sub in and go up top with Ezekiel Alado, who, by the way, great assist for Alejandro Bedoya's goal. That's exactly what you get with Alado. Strong hold-up play, and then nice layoff pass to Bedoya with a tidy finish. But yeah, I want to see what Bruno Damiani and Ezekiel Elliott can do up top together. Let's see Milan Oloski and Indiana Vasiliev as the 2 10s, and then obviously Jovan and Danley as your 2 number 6s. And yeah, it's probably going to be Nathan Harriel as your left back against Defense Force, and I would imagine against DC United, the first game in the MLS season. Frankie Restfield at right back, and then Siri Larson and Makanya as your 2 center backs, and then Blake in goal. That's the lineup I want to see tomorrow. 60, 65 minutes. Let's get these guys going. Let's get a fast start. It does kind of suck that they're playing against Montreal. I would much rather it have been a West Coast team, because now you're going to play Montreal 3 times this season, just like we saw last year with Cincinnati and Montreal when they were down in Clearwater. But yeah, let's face it, Montreal's not a Tampa Bay Rowdies. They're not the last team. I forget the name of the team that they played.
Sigma Olomouc.
Was that the team that they beat 4-0? I don't think it is. Is it?
Yeah, no, I'm losing track.
It was the Montenegrin team that they beat 4-0. I'm pretty sure. Somebody in the chat. Sorry. But yeah, CF Montreal is going to be a better test than those 2. And I would imagine CF Montreal's probably, at least on paper, better than Defense Force. But yeah, let's see a strong starting lineup. Get these guys going, chemistry continuing to build. And then if you want to tinker with the lineup, if you want to tinker with, all right, regardless if we have a lead or not, let's see what it looks like trying to close games out and switching things up. If you want to switch formations and maybe go 5 in the back, 3 in the back, whatever you want to call it, I'm here for it. But yeah, it's got to be a strong starting lineup, in my opinion, from the get-go. And then what happens after 60, 65 minutes, could care less. Do you play George Marks, Jose, at all? Do you need to see George Marks, your third goalkeeper? Didn't play against Tampa Bay.
What's the Union 2 schedule?
Jillian?
Do they play tomorrow as well?
Ooh.
I know they just played Stetson University for a reason.
This is where we need a Kyle Omni or Jillian Omni.
Okay, so they play Tampa. They play the Rhode Island. Rhode Island on the 12th. So that's not tomorrow. So, well, all the respect to George Marks, I don't think I need to see him. I think this is an Andre Blake and Andrew Rick splitting at times. Now, I did not know that they said they were supposed to play 120 minutes.
Yeah, the broadcaster said that, and he said that it was announced right before that they were going to go 90 minutes instead of 120.
Huh. This is opening up a new line of questioning that I wish we had press conferences for.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Interesting. Listen, to your point, though, thanks, Silly Jilly. I would love to see Alado and Damiani go at it. Like let those two just. I mean, my God, granted, it was a USL competition. Again, all the respect in the world to USL teams, but Alado just the way he held up the ball in that one play, it's incredible that what he did there. I just want to see them playing off of one another and seeing the runs. Who tries to flick the ball? Who tries to hold the ball? Who tries to make a run? Then that type of thing. But to your point, with tomorrow, the Union are likely sitting on a lot of announcements for the rest of the week with a kit reveal tomorrow. Agustin Anello, who again, per sources, he's already with the club, which I didn't have to ask to. I told you this, Todd, in a separate chat. I was dumb enough to ask about him and not check social media. And next thing I know, he's posting a picture with him in his Bible wearing Union shorts. So, yeah, of course, he's with the squad already. After I ask, and then ultimately, per my sources, Marcus Anderson has been practicing with Brooklyn and Marlon LeBlanc now for a little bit, 2 weeks at this point. So they have to announce him departing at some point. I don't know where you fit those three announcements. I don't know that, this is the marketer in me, previous / current life in a way. You don't want to do all three of those in one day. Granted,
Eddie
two of them are positive.
didn't play.
Say it again.
Eddie Davis also didn't play against Tampa Bay. Sal Levis did. What happens with Eddie Davis? Do you need to have both him and Sal Levis at the club this season playing MLS Next Pro? I don't think so, in my opinion.
See, I listen. That's an interesting point, but who knows? I guess what I'm trying to immediately say is, how do they go about announcing all these things, right? Two are positive, a new kit and a new player, but one is a departing player that you're saying thank you to, and I think is only. I need a refresher. Is only the first player to go on loan and then come back, but also potentially have a future within the club? Because I feel like anybody else who's ever gone on loan within the Union org usually disappears forever. Then
that's true.
Brandon Craig, Matt Real.
Mine was Nelson Pierre, but he was loaned out right away as soon as he came back from Sweden.
Yeah.
Scarlet Independence. Who else? Matt Real, loaned out, gone. Brendan Craig, loaned out, gone. And what a mess the Brendan Craig loanings were.
Yeah, disaster.
Who else?
Union historians in the chat, sort that out for us, please. I'm going to bed after this. I got to actually drive into work tomorrow.
Yeah, CJ only might be the first.
First to survive alone with the Union. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think so. Right?
It's checks out.
Anyhow, sorry, it's just something that came to mind.
And we're not counting loaning to Union too. We're talking about loaning completely out of the organization.
Yeah. Oh man, where have you gone, Jose Riasco? Jose Riasco is adding fuel to my theory here.
Yeah, he is. God, what a guy. Remember when he was I remember there was reports in the paper Kareem, what's the dude's name? That's at Dortmund now, came up through the Red Bull system. Then Dortmund signed him. Striker. I forget his last name. It'll come to me. But Ernst Tanner paid a significant amount of money to bring him to Red Bulls, and then they sold him for a lot of money to Dortmund. And I can remember people were saying, "Oh, is this another Kareem situation? Is this another Kareem fine for Ernst Tanner?" And my God, I don't think things could have gone any worse for Jose Riasco, a guy that they paid over $1 million for, if I'm not mistaken.
Dude, and listen, with all the respect to the world, to every professional player we talk to and watch, like obviously much better athletes than we will ever be, likely, or have been. I've never watched, I guess my own two eyes and my body in the stadium. I don't think I've ever watched a player with such incredible physical abilities be so bad. Like an unbelievable frame, unbelievable height, speed.
Not at all.
but just absolutely shat the bed in front of the net and just always. I think I saw him. It was that playoff game where he was just offsides left and right, and ultimately like just squandered some opportunities. I'm thinking to myself, my God, I've never seen someone with so much raw talent just not sort himself out. And I'm usually not this negative about players, and I apologize out loud, but it's just so talented, and it just didn't work here for whatever reason.
Yeah. Mike had said early in the show, Uruguay, the new Venezuela. Maybe Jose Riasco is the reason why they're not signing players from Venezuela anymore.
Well, and there's a lot of difficulties getting that paperwork done.
Of course. But yeah, I mean, I would not be against signing more and more players from Uruguay. Bruno Damiani, think's going to be a good signing. Some would say, yeah, it didn't work out last year, but I have high hopes for Bruno Damiani this season. 15 plus goals, calling it now.
Oh, okay, we're doing that.
I mean, we don't have to, but yeah, I think I've seen enough negative comments about Bruno Damiani from fans, and yeah, I think Bruno Damiani is going to absolutely feast. And there's comments on the show, people saying, where are the assists going to come from? They're calm. I think Frankie Westfield's a player that can add an assist or two. I think Milan Alowski is a player that's going to add assists. Danley Jacques, with how much he got for it, I think he'll surprise some few with some assists. And I don't know. I have pretty good feeling that Bruno Damiani and Ezekiel Alado are absolutely going to feast on players. Yeah, Hoagie says Ben Bender. Hilarious. I don't think she was here for my Ben Bender talk at the beginning of the show. Go back to the 20th minute mark, Hoagie. Love the optimism. I love it.
She loves Ben Bender.
Yeah, loves Ben Bender. I mean, I would imagine a lot of girls do with that long, flowy hair. I mean, maybe if it's back in 2012, 2013, 2014, maybe a little bit more. But I don't know. I think a lot of people still like the beaver flow. I think it still pulls at some people's heartstrings.
All right, we need to move on. We need to move on.
I was gonna say we're gonna go ahead and end the show here, Jose. Last topic, and that is the Union kit leak. And yeah, this didn't take long, Jose, for it to go around on social media. The supposed 2026 primary kit for the Philadelphia Union, very Philadelphia-esque. I'm not asking you to confirm or deny this, Jose, but what I will ask you is your thoughts looking on what is potentially the Union's 2026 primary kit.
I mean, what I can say is that someone showed me a picture of this very same thing 2 weeks ago, I think, or maybe a week ago. I can't remember anymore. And I'm far from ruining marketing plans for something as big as this. This is not for me to say. So I don't do anything with that type of stuff. But was it? Yeah, it was you, Todd. Didn't I show you I showed you and Mike, I think, the kits last year, the Thunderbolt. Maybe it was Mike. I remember showing Mike. Are you still here, Mike?
Definitely.
Yeah, I remember showing Mike that someone had texted me a picture of the current away kit, right? Because that's the weird lightning bolt one, right? not the cool lightning bolt, but this whatever lightning bolt that is that they have now with the
Timu lightning bolt kit.
yeah. So people are kind enough to send me that type of stuff. I don't do anything with it other than just sit, and sometimes even honestly, sometimes even just delete the messages and say thank you. I really don't want to have this in my possession. Yeah, interesting kit. Footy Headlines ranked it as an S tier kit. I don't see it, frankly. But if this is your jam, all the power to you. I just can't wait to see him at Ross at the end of the season, I guess. Like I just don't know how well these type of kits sell, right? I think it's fair, albeit cool. I think it's fair to say that it's very, very busy. I appreciate I appreciate that they got the Beambo logo to be gold and not, like a atrocious red or anything like that. But it is unbelievably busy that this doesn't scream soccer jersey to me. And then again, I'm also not asking to have the atrociousness that Nashville has with their new yellow kit. That's just Adidas or I forget the order, but it's just the Nashville crest right on the center and just yellow and stripes and Hyundai and just nothing to it. So I don't know that I feel like this is one extreme and the Nashville one's another extreme, but this, I don't know. Well, I mean, maybe listen, the way you had asked me, I think you said, I hope it looks better in pictures. It's like, I don't know, brother. I think you want it to look better in pictures from normal humans and normal phones than pictures that are going to be photoshopped to hell to make it nice and saturated, nice and on professional athlete bodies that, you and I will never look like anymore in our lives. At least I won't. I know that. This is a lot. And, what I will say is, and then I want your opinion, this is better than whatever the hell they're having the goalkeepers wear this year with that two-tone pattern bull stuff that the keepers have to wear.
Yeah, the goalkeeping kit's pretty bad. So the reason I was distracted here, Jose, is because this is a really good website. I don't know.
Bradley Cornell messaged you?
No. No. I was going to try to say something witty, but I don't have anything. Or if I did, I don't want to get myself in trouble. But there's this cool site called Football Kit Archive, and you can go ahead and just look up any single soccer jerseys from any team and everything. And maybe some of you guys in the listenership is aware of that website, but when I went to go to it, I pulled it up and let's see, can you guys see this on the stream? Yes, you can. They had that kit that I just showed listed as the 2026 home jersey, and I don't know. Do you guys buy into this? Do you guys not? I saw Shaggy saying, "Yeah, that's more of a third jersey for me," but I don't know. I don't know if that would be a third jersey. Usually, if a third jersey, it's going to be a lighter color. Your primary kit's going to be dark. And so this would check out with the lightning kit and then this darker jersey. But my thoughts on this kit, yeah, I think it would be better as a third kit. I texted you this. I texted it to a lot of people. Jose, I said that I'm shocked. I'm honestly shocked that Adidas would approve this for a kit design. I'm not on the Union Kit Collective or whatever they call it. I know people want it. What I've heard that over the years, Adidas started off being pretty strict, and then they've go ahead and come down and let people become a little bit more creative. But looking at this jersey, which again is supposedly the 2026 primary kit, we'll see tomorrow and Tuesday once it's announced. This, even though Adidas is allowing teams to be a little bit more creative, this is still more creative than I thought Adidas would allow a team to design a primary kit. If it's a third kit, I'm fine with this. Seeing this be worn for 2 years. I don't know. I mean, I totally get it's the 250th anniversary this year of the country, so it makes sense why you would add the Declaration of Independence. It makes sense why you add July 4th, 1776, Ben Franklin in there for the 250th anniversary. But yeah, this screams more third kid, or at least it should be a third kid and not a primary kid. But I I give kudos to the kit collective for going out of the way and trying something bold, because this is definitely unlike anything that we've seen from the Philadelphia Union. So yeah, you're right. I don't like this. I do not like the
Just spit it out, Todd. Just say you don't like it.
I don't like it.
No,
Don't.
listen, I have a weird history with Union kits. There's some that I think are incredible, and some, and those very same ones are, I don't think, as appreciated by yeah, you and I both, Hoagie. I don't think that they're as appreciated by the fans, right? I think about that Adidas kit with the 3 stripes on the shoulder. Absolutely love that Union kit a few years back. Obviously, nostalgia being what it is, like that initial kit with the golden stripe down the middle, just hits different. So I don't know, man. If that is the kit, then I think it'll just grow on everybody, right? Both fans and press alike. It'll just be something that we will have to see. I'm just, yeah, no. Yeah, it's cool for $250, which is what they're gonna charge you for the top version, Mike.
The person that sold this said $150 in Dick's, which is not even the cost of an authentic. So yeah, it's definitely going to be $200 for an authentic, which is
Wait, repeat that, Todd. The person who took the picture, that wasn't the authentic. That was the what? And how much was it?
He said $150 for the replica.
And it wasn't. How much were replicas this year? Or last year, I guess.
I gotta go to everybody's favorite site, Fanatics. Philadelphia Union. I love how we do things on the fly. You're probably beating me to it.
No, we need a producer. Everybody, please message. What's the email? No, message Todd Lewis or the Free Kick Pod if you want to be a producer for the show, behind the scenes, and do this type of stuff for us. Todd specifically. Please, please, please message. We could use a silent hand in the background, right?
I mean, yeah, it could be nice. It could be helpful. Holy crap. Hey, if anybody wants a Lightning Bolt jersey from 2021, one's going for $30 on eBay. Extra small, though.
All right, Todd. No one, that's my middle finger.
Hey, look, you don't see too many of these kids on the wild.
Hey, I did get Mike Barrera's daughter an extra small for, what was it, $20 at Ross? Of the old home kit.
$160 was the kit last year, authentic. So I don't know, maybe.
No way. The price difference between the replica and the legit one was way more than whatever the difference is. What you're saying.
$100 on MLS's site for the replica for the away kit, and then $160 for the authentic.
Dude, $40 to get the, I guess, what is the difference? The lightning bolt in the back of the neck, then you have the race seal right on your chest, the crest.
Yeah.
And then the extra stripe on like the neck thing, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I don't know, man. These prices are crazy. I mean, I know we talk about it, and make no mistake, obviously I enjoy a good Manchester City kit, but even those that I got, that Kevin De Bruyne one, came in a very nice box, shipped from England. It's a special edition to commemorate the bombings in Manchester during the Ariana Grande concert. That was one of their fundraisers. I think I got it for far less, with a name, obviously, for far less than what a Union kit costs. And this is from, a Premier League team, and maybe it's a volume thing that they're able to sell it for a little bit less. But even that one was Nike. It wasn't even like they moved to Puma yet. So neither here or there, man. I don't know. It's tough to justify some of the cost of these things.
Very much so. No. Can we go back to this kit?
Dude, I thought you were about to bring a producer on.
Yeah, yeah. We have applications flying in as we're still live. Now, I would love to go back to this kit from 2015. What a beautiful kit.
Yeah, shout out to CJ on X or on Instagram for a Gremio fan for uploading this thing. Go back to the one I was talking about, the one with the 3 stripes on the shoulder. Was that
Oh God, the Star Wars kit.
2021? 2020?
Pretty sure it was 2021. The Star Wars kit you're talking about.
Why is it Star? Yeah, right there. That thing's dope. How's that Star Wars?
It reminds me of a stormtrooper.
The fuck are you talking about?
The little. I don't know why. Just, and I know I'm not the only one. I've seen other fans say that it reminds them of Star Wars too, with the little stripes on the side. This is hideous. And isn't this the one that you have the snake down the middle that you could see? You couldn't see on the replica.
I can see it on my screen. Yeah, I can see the snake right there in the middle. I think it's good. And of course, like no doubt, the Bethlehem Steel kit, best kit ever, in a lot of ways. See, thank you, Wolfie.
I mean, yeah, the Steel kit's class. Just bring that back for the 3rd kit.
I like the. It's hanging on my wall somewhere back there. It was the fundraiser.
Games.
Go back. It was a 2020 kit too. Maybe it wasn't an official kit, so maybe they won't have it, but it was the light blue one that was like the fundraiser.
Yes.
It says no, it says Artisano on. No, those are the Parley kits. Those are the recycled water bottle ones.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I think maybe
it's not gonna show up. It's the one that said Artisano, and I think they were selling it as like supporting the Philadelphia community during COVID. Hold on, I'll be right back.
you know the kit you're talking about. But yeah, as I stall for time, I mean, this site's so cool. And if you guys, I think this was what, 2 years ago. Correct me if I'm wrong and not Jillian. Me, myself, Kyle, and Jillian, we were in the Anaheim Convention Center doing a kit. That's a playoff jersey. That was for the playoffs in 2019. But yeah, we had talked about our favorite kits back in 2024, where we ranked the Union's best jerseys up to that point. Maybe that's an episode to bring back now with some of the newer jerseys that you guys can do, Jillian. Just a thought. If I had the link, I would definitely share it with people. I don't know why it's not listed on this site, but that was definitely a playoff jersey.
This is
I remember having it too.
This is one I haven't shown you. Match worn.
Keegan Rosenberry, no way.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Friend of a friend got it from him.
Didn't you play against him in high school?
No, my brother did. My brother got cooked by him. Keegan Rosenberry played what did he play? He played striker and scored like 5 in the first half.
I feel like all the best kids coming up out of college or academies play up top, and then they get transferred further back on the field. I think Jordan Griffin, the same thing happened to him.
Say it again?
I think Jordan Griffin came up as a striker, and then he transferred back to a left back with the Union. Just feel like that's the way of life.
Let's close this out, Todd.
I mean, these people are loving Jersey Talk. So again, if you guys want to hear Jersey Talk, Kyle and Jillian Almany, and then they were kind enough to let me sit down on that episode. We talked about Union jerseys back in 2024. So yeah, just go to the one team we agree on, and I don't even know what they named that jersey, but I mean what they named that episode, but I would imagine it has something to do with the United Coaches Conference in their title or something. I don't know. But yeah, there was definitely Jersey Talk back in 2024 if you guys want to hear that. And like I said, maybe Jillian and Kyle can do a new up-to-date episode with that. But that's enough Jersey Talk. An hour and 9 minutes. Did not expect us to go this far into Jersey Talk, if I'm honest, Jose, over 20 minutes. But yeah, it's pretty much everything I have for the podcast. And it is nice to go ahead and goof around, clown around, and it makes it best when you guys are interacting with us on the show. And look, we're actually live. We were interacting with you guys. You guys weren't just sending your comments and not getting a response back from us. We were actually interacting with you guys. Back-to-back episodes. Yay, us. being live on the podcast. But Jose, anything else you want to add? Any last bits to talk about? If not, where can people find you on social media?
Nothing to add. You can find me at Jose R Nunez 91. Yes, actually, you can find me at Jose R Nunez 91 on Twitter. I'm also on Blue Sky. I try my best to post there. And again, I think since we last got together, I posted a gigantic thank you to everybody. Just a reminder that my work will continue for free. Those that choose to support me through Substack, please know that all of my work will continue to be for free. So there's no pressure to do it. And back with MLS this season to write on the side. But beyond that, just excited to watch tomorrow. I won't be able to watch the whole match. I have my own match to play. So we'll see how the team does.
Hat trick coming inbound by the Bolivian Messi.
Probably not.
I believe in you, dude. I mean, you score a hat trick, but your team will probably wind up losing unless this is a game where you guys win.
Did I ever tell you my team name?
No.
Well, it's not my team, the team I joined. Patético Madrid.
Love that. That's pretty creative. I've not seen that name around here. Usually, I mean, you see so many guys just in different leagues around Maryland just copying names off of each other. I seriously doubt it's the same teams in multiple leagues, but maybe it is. And I'm like, get creative. That's pretty creative. So shout out to whichever one of your teammates came up with that name. But if you guys aren't following the podcast on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, follow @FreeKickPod wherever you get your podcast of The Free Kick. Make sure to check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/FreeKickPod, live every single podcast episode. And we'll be coming back with goals breakdown videos very, very soon. And I know that's why a lot of you guys subscribe to the podcast. A lot of you guys listen to the YouTube page because you guys are there for the goals breakdown videos. So once the season starts, we'll be back with those videos. And if you guys want to check out my writing, the podcast, or the goals breakdown videos, thefreekick.substack.com. And as Jazz says, tonight's broadcast brought to you by New Jersey. New Jersey.
Oh,
I don't know what number state they are, but they are a number in a state.
yeah. One last thing. Should have mentioned this at some point, Todd. Bad on us. But if you're at work and you can just put something in the background, whether you have YouTube Premium or not, you can listen. I guess there's really no sound, so scratch that idea. But if you have an extra screen, you can watch the Snow Bowl or whatever they're calling it with the Union Academy teams playing these international teams. The tied against Manchester United today, and they tied against Benfica as well. And they beat.
I know at one point they're playing.
Yeah, so the is it under 15, 16, 18s? I think are the teams playing, if I recall correctly. Kyle and Jillian are likely their best source for updates on that front. But you can stream all of those games from the Union website. They have a really nice setup from that indoor facility that they should use more to share what's going on out there. So make sure you watch if you can.
Much better plug than how I was going to end this show, Jose. So, yes, go ahead and check out the Philadelphia Union's first and many more to come Snow Bowl with international teams. And I believe Monterrey is also in that competition as well. So, yeah, lots going on in the Philadelphia Union community, just like there was a lot going on tonight on the podcast. And again, appreciate all the comments, appreciate all you guys interacting with us, and that comment all the way at the beginning of the show from KA all day, favorite time of the week. Thank you, Kyle. So with that said, my name is Todd, and this is the Free Kick Podcast.